Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's declutter, we have my small eyeshadow palettes. Now these mostly consist of drugstore palettes, but there is a couple of high-end ones in here that, you know, they're just small and don't really fit in the other organizer that I have for mostly my huge eyeshadow palettes. So this is something that I definitely need to try to be more cutthroat on. But I just can't help it because I do enjoy my drugstore small eyeshadow palettes. So this one's going to be very interesting to see how I do. So if you guys want to see what I decluttered, then just keep on watching. Alright, so for the first round, we are going to start off with Wet n Wild. Now, Wet n Wild is one of my guilty pleasures just because I always get their products very, very cheap, even sometimes free. But to top it off, their products are actually pretty good. So I'm going to start off with something that I think I might declutter more of, because I'm not going to lie, I really do enjoy Wet n Wild products. So I don't know if I'm going to be decluttering that much. So we're going to start off with these little quads. This one is named, well, this one is called Hooked on Vinyl. And it has these pretty little, just neutral gold colors and that pop of green. Oops. The only reason why I'm not keeping this one is because I have this shade in a Makeup Geek single eyeshadow, and I actually prefer the Makeup Geek one versus this. So unfortunately, I am going to have to declutter this. But it is a really good, just cheap palette, and if I didn't have that Makeup Geek shadow, I would have kept this. Now for this one, I'm not going to swatch because I know for a fact that I'm going to declutter it just because I have so many browns in my bigger eyeshadow palettes and as well in single eyeshadow, so there's just no point in me trying to convince myself to keep it. Now for this one, I am going to also declutter it. It's called Knock on Wood. I haven't used it and I don't want to swatch it because I don't want to try to convince myself to keep it either. I'm pretty sure I have these in single eyeshadows, or if not, in my bigger eyeshadow palettes as well. And then this one is called Silent Treatment. I did like these two shades right here, but I'm going to declutter it just because I feel like these are the only palettes I'm going to declutter. So I'm going to have to let some of these small ones go. Now for the next one that I know for sure that I'm going to declutter is this Fergie eyeshadow palette. I've had this for a long time. The eyeshadows, there's nothing wrong with them, but like I said, I am keeping quite a bit of these Wet n Wild palettes, so I need to let some of these go, and I'm 100% sure I have these shades in my single eyeshadows as well. Now going to these quads right here, I feel like all of these are really, really unique shades. I'm going to keep all three. This one's called Bed of Roses. This one's called Secret Garden Rendezvous. And then this one's called House of Thorns. So I'm not ready to part ways with these. Now these are really unique. I know a lot of people don't like when eyeshadow palettes, well, quads come like this, that they can, you know, get mixed. But they actually are really good and really pretty. I have used these quite a bit, and they're really creamy. But I need to try to see, let's see. See, these are just so pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one too. So it's a good thing I'm keeping this one and not that other eyeshadow palette. And then these are more of shimmer shades, or toppers I would like to call it. I really like this purple one right here and this white one. They're just so pretty. Yeah, so I'm going to keep all three because I actually do use these and enjoyed them. Now with these, I'm going to declutter this one just because, ooh. Yeah, I'm going to declutter this one just because it's really, really old. And to be honest, I would prefer to keep this one, the Comfort Zone. The main reason why I'm keeping this one is because it has a lot of sentimental value. This was like one of the very first eyeshadow palettes I picked up, and it wasn't really that bad. The shimmers are still really good and pigmented. and I still sometimes use those two shimmers, but most of it I want to keep it because this is one of the first eyeshadow palettes I've ever purchased. Now this Pac-Man one is still brand new, and I haven't had a chance to use it that much. I've only used, I think I used these 3 shades, or if not, I used these 3 shades. But it was really good quality, so I'm going to keep it. Now for these right here, I kind of want to depot these because they are so pretty, and I've been meaning to use these. They're so creamy and so pretty. So I know for sure I'm gonna keep all 4. Now going to this section right here, this one's gonna be hard. Let's see, I'm just gonna, by first look, I'm gonna declutter this one just because the 2 main shades that I like are these 2 transition, I can't say that word, and I feel like I have these 2 shades somewhere in my big collection of eyeshadow palettes. The shimmers weren't that great. They were okay. Let me swatch them next to, yeah, see, the shimmers were okay compared to the first Comfort Zone palette. So I'm gonna declutter this one. And then I do want to keep these 4 because I believe these 2 are new, and I really did like these 2, so I'm gonna keep these 4 and declutter these 3. I'm not even gonna bother swatching them. So going to these LA Color ones, they're actually really good. I bought these at the dollar store, and they're so soft and pigmented, but to be honest, I'm gonna declutter it just because I do have quite a lot. And as well, this kind of reminds me of the, what's the word, of the Soft Glam palette, and I really have 2 dupes for it, so I'm gonna declutter this one. This one is called in Smoky, and I'm also gonna declutter it, even though again the pigmentation is really there. I just have too many eyeshadow palettes for my own good. Like, do you see that? And these palettes were only $1. Alright, so going to this L'Oreal palette, this was such a staple for me, like when I first started doing makeup. But unfortunately, this is really old, but it got the job done. It just had this really pretty natural shade, and of course shimmer shade that I just used all the time. But comparing this one to the Wet n Wild one, so this one, I don't know who gave it to me. This I bought myself as like the first eyeshadow palette. So I feel like the Wet n Wild just holds more sentimental value versus this one, even though I use this like non-stop. But I'm gonna declutter it, well actually trash it. And then this is from Maybelline. It's just a really pretty all matte eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile just because I feel like I do have these colors coming up. Oh, I actually found another Maybelline palette, and I'm actually gonna declutter this one as well. Alright, so now going to Revlon. I am going to keep this just a little bit longer just because I haven't had a chance to fully use it. The pigmentation is there, and they're actually really smooth, so I'm going to keep that one. This Revlon quad right here, I'm going to declutter it. It doesn't have a lot of pigment on there, and they are getting kind of a hard pan, so goodbye. And then I am definitely going to keep this one right here because it's a cream palette. I do enjoy using creams at times just because it makes my makeup process so much easier. And then this purple one, let's see. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep that one definitely. So I'm going to keep this a little bit longer. I did buy these cream products just a couple months ago, so I'm not ready to part ways with it. Alright, so this LA Girl eyeshadow palette, this one's actually really good. I am going to keep it. I am glad I'm doing a declutter because I definitely want to start bringing this one out even more. And then these 2 Almay eyeshadow quads. I told you I had more, but I had them on this this bucket. That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one. And then am I honestly going to ever use this turquoise shade one? I'm going to declutter this one. I need to be realistic. And then this Physicians Formula. So I used to have a Physicians Formula quad that I loved that I broke to pieces. And this one's just, it doesn't compare to it. I mean, the mattes are actually pretty soft. I take that back. But I'm going to declutter it. I have too many browns in my collection. Well, this is not a quad or eyeshadow palette, but I had it in that bucket. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to put it where it belongs. See, for example, here comes a little small Smashbox quad, which I do like and I am going to keep, but it has browns. Alright, so this one as well is one of the very first quads that I purchased. Well, that someone gave to me, or I probably stole from my mom, one or the other. And I actually am going to keep this sentimental one. Even though it looks real beat up, my son, when he was smaller, he did get into this one, but this one brings me joy. Now this one right here, I did really enjoy this shade right here. It was like a really pretty, I don't know what you would call it, but as you can tell, it's just getting old, so I'm going to throw this one away. Now to the hard part, because I really do enjoy all of these quads. Let me start off with this one because I actually have not used this one. I've only swatched it, but I mean, compared to the other shades, I mean the other palettes, I'm pretty sure it would do a good job. I'm actually going to keep this just because it is a good drugstore colorful palette, and I believe I'm only keeping 2 so far. So I am going to keep this one. Now see, this one, this is really hard. I'm going to keep actually all these 3 because I really do enjoy them and I do use them. And I'm just not ready to part ways with it. Now let's go to Rimmel. I think these are the only Rimmel ones I have. You know what? This one's very comparable to this one right here. I feel like this one is a mixture of these two. But I actually really like the Spice Edition one. See, this is where it gets hard. Alright, let me swatch this one. Let me see how this one is. See, these are just really good. I'm going to keep all 3. I know. Horrible. Alright, so this right here. This is some old school eyeshadow palette as well. It's the It's Judy Time and BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I started watching Judy whenever she started off with doing her makeup, and she released this collab with BH Cosmetics, and it was such a good eyeshadow palette. Like, as you can tell, I did use it. I am gonna keep it just because this is one of the very first eyeshadow collab palettes that I ever purchased, and plus this is what kind of started my love for makeup. So I'm definitely gonna keep this. Now going to these e.l.f. ones. I am going to keep this Velvet Touch eyeshadow palette quad because it actually is really good. These creams in them, I love using them. And definitely going to keep that one. This one I'm also going to keep. I didn't get to use it quite enough. And plus, it's just one of them neutral palettes that definitely calls my name. Now for this Prism eyeshadow palette, everyone raved about this. Yeah, they're soft, but they're not as pigmented as they made them out to be. I mean, they're okay. I feel like you get more pigmentation when you add water to it, so I'm gonna definitely declutter this. So with these 2 Milani ones, I actually got this as a gift, so I'm gonna keep it. Plus, these little quads are really pigmented and I really like them. I haven't had a chance to, actually I did use this gold one and it's really, really pretty. So I'm definitely going to keep that. Now as far as this one, I did like using it and nothing's wrong with it, but I'm going to declutter it just because I have so many of these typical brown shades. And plus this one's similar. Well, actually no, it's not. I take that back. But it has the same dark brown. And I'm pretty sure I can get those same golds and stuff like that in a different palette. But even though it's so pretty. Yeah, see? I don't know. This is going to go in the maybe actually. But this one I am going to keep just because it was a little expensive little thing. And I do like the shades. They are soft. Do I regret purchasing this? Just a little. But I did want to test out Natasha Denona and see what the hype was about. So I'm going to keep it. Now going to these random little ones. I'm definitely going to keep this Catrice and Iman eyeshadow palette. It is actually really, really good, guys. The formula is really, really soft and very easy and blendable to use. And maybe if I catch up on my editing, I will hopefully have a tutorial using her collab with Catrice. But I'm definitely gonna keep this. This one as well is really, really good. This is the Flower Beauty Wanderlust palette. It has such really unique shades and they're really, really pigmented actually. So I'm definitely gonna keep this. Now this one right here, it's actually really good, but I'm going to declutter it just because I just have so many of these typical shades that I'm trying to keep it for, which I don't need to because I have these in single eyeshadows, or if not, I have them somewhere else. So even though it's really good, I need to declutter it. So we have this Viseart one. It is just this typical brown neutral shades. I am going to keep this because I haven't had a chance to use it yet. Plus I got it on a really good discount through Ipsy, so I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. And then this is the Nubian by Juvia's Place. It's literally a small little quad. It is just a perfect little thing to take with you on the go, so I'm definitely going to keep it. Now this is the Models Co Metallic Eyeshadow Trio. Have I even swatched this? Oh, I haven't swatched it and I'm not going to because I'm going to get rid of it. I need to be, if I haven't used it by now, that's just saying something. Now these two right here, I am going to declutter this Chanel one. I got this from my mom when she used to work at Dillard's. And this thing is just so old. So I'm definitely going to declutter that. Well, trash it actually. But I mean, the pigment's still there though. Now this one right here too is a really good little quad that I got from Ulta Beauty a couple years ago for my birthday gift. It was really good, but I am going to declutter it because it's just old and I have better things in my collection. Now for these last four random ones, I am going to keep this Venus, well, this Lime Crime palette. How do you open this? I am going to keep this. I haven't used it or had a chance to use it yet, so I'm gonna still keep it. Now this is from Smashbox. This is something brand new as well. I haven't had a chance to use it. To be honest, I mainly purchased it because it went on a really good sale at Ulta. And as well, these two shades, well, these four shades right here were calling my name. I might declutter this, not sure yet. So this is gonna be on a maybe too. Now this little donut thing right here from Makeup Revolution, it's just so cute. And then the eyeshadows are just so creamy. I'm gonna keep this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I mean, it's a donut. Can't throw away a donut. Now for this last one right here, I'm not gonna declutter this just yet. It's the Pat McGrath little small eyeshadow quad. To be honest, it's okay. I wish there was another more lighter transition shade so I can use in my crease, but it's an okay quad. Shimmers all are really blinding, so I am gonna keep it. Now for these maybes, I am going to declutter this because now that I'm thinking about it, I do have a lot of mattes in my collection that are the same similar shades that I'm trying to keep. It is a very good eyeshadow quad, but I need to be realistic and declutter it. This Milani one, to be honest, I'm not ready to part with it just because it does have those really pretty browns and it's such a good travel palette and just not ready. And then going back to this Smashbox one, am I going to use it? No, I'm going to declutter it. I need to be realistic. Alright, so now that I've decluttered everything, let's see how it's going to fit back in the bucket. See, so that looks way much better. I might have to put this one face down if my little drawer thing does not close. So I'm very glad how this looks like right now. I'm 100% sure I could have decluttered way less, but did I? No, I didn't. Actually, I'm gonna put this at the bottom just because I know for a fact I'm not gonna use that anymore. It's just more of a keepsake type of item. I really like having everything where I can kind of see, like for example, I can see the Flower Beauty, Pat McGrath, the Catrice and Iman one. I mean, it's going to be a little hard to see the Wet n Wild, but I know that I have it, and just how everything looks is way better than before. Alright, so this is all that I'm going to be decluttering from my small quads slash eyeshadow palettes. I am very glad that I was able to get rid of some of them. To be honest, I didn't think... I always say this, but I always get into shock that I'm actually getting rid of makeup. Just because I did purchase all of this with my own money. And I love using makeup. So when it comes to me having to get rid of it, I'm just like, no, I don't want to. But I need to, and I'm pretty glad how I did. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully the lighting wasn't too bad. Let me know down below, how do you think I'm doing? Am I doing okay? Am I doing just fine? Or do I need to redo this again? Now don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that way you don't miss next declutter. Now my next declutter is going to be the hardest one, my big eyeshadow palettes, which I'm not ready for, but I'm hoping I can get rid of some. Well, I do thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you on the next one.